Hello again, and so we're now on chapter 12 of The Glory of Love. This is actually from the first book from the Glory of Love saga. And so you actually kind of met some of the Kensington brothers in the last reading. This was when they were also at the social and they're looking for girlfriends instead of recruiting for their family's latest scheme. Now, what this is as part of the upgrade from connection to subplot, I actually put some fight scenes into my cystic fibrosis fundraising subplot, as well as the pro football subplot in Lovers in a Dangerous Time. And the Kensington brothers in the Kensington family is the arch-enemies whom the superhuman Marshall brothers fight with very often to protect Crystal Isle from being overtaken, just like world domination. Okay, it's for lack of better terms. And in this case, this is what happens when the Kensingtons go to the social to recruit some people for a citizen ninja army to help the Kensingtons take over Crystal Isle. And the superhuman Marshall brothers stop it! If you want more in the description, if you want a better explained description, check below. Okay? So here goes the reading. Rancourt keeps yelling at his brothers loud enough for Nightbiter and Jordan to overhear. You guys are supposed to be recruiting people here to join Father's ninja army. Nightbiter approaches the Kensington brothers, glaring at them. I knew there was something suspicious about you. You said you were here to land a date. Yeah, well, you're not supposed to look for a girlfriend, Rancourt reminds them. We need more recruits in the army if we want to hatch Father's master plan. Hold it, Nightbiter objects. You guys aren't recruiting anyone here tonight, and some are from out of town. He looks on the dance floor to see Matthew and Diane still dancing to yet another slow ballad. If you are really here to cause trouble, I suggest you leave. Why don't you make us, Rancourt replies. He begins to shove Nightbiter a foot back, then makes his way to the DJ station where he abruptly stops the music. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, he says in a creepy voice, resembling an antagonist from a horror movie. We come here tonight because you are a large enough crowd and we are in search of more recruits. People like you. Together we can work to take over Crystal Isle and the world, and make both fall to the bidding of my father, King Vidor. The crowd just stares at Rancourt, not believing him, and some even try to muffle in laughter. Rancourt looks down at the turntables, music players, and other equipment, and starts waving his hands above to manipulate them. He activates the equipment, and it starts to make loud siren and beeping sounds. Everyone gets annoyed, and they begin to cover their ears. Nightbiter joins the rest of the superhuman Marshall brothers, and they prepare to get involved. Surfside looks concerned and asks over the noise, How are we going to pull this off? We don't have our weapons. Nightbiter, you didn't even think to bring your glasses. Then you must use your hand and foot abilities, Master Abraham says. Go, I'll alert the security and tell them what is happening. Leander gives us a small pep talk. Okay, boys, let's get in there and stop this. He and the other brothers put their hands in and yell harmoniously, It's superhuman time! All four brothers run towards the Kensingtons and begin with the punching and kicking until it turns into 5 versus 4 brawl. Both sets of brothers are knocking each other to the floor with arms and legs. Highclere makes himself invisible so he can't be touched while he's fighting. Rancourt and Iron Maid keep getting surprised when an unknown being keeps kicking and throwing them around out of nowhere. Meanwhile, Master Abraham and Techne hurry to the DJ station, and Master Abraham quickly asks to borrow the microphone. Techne is working to stop the noise. As horrified and panicked witnesses flee the rink, Master Abraham says, Do not be afraid. Everyone must leave the arena space in an orderly fashion, and go out in the hallways where it's safe. Do not leave the center itself. This will be over in a few minutes. Valerie pretends to flee, but stays at the entrance rink where she won't be injured. She retrieves a small camcorder from her purse, activates a function that allows recording in dim light, and records the battle. She whispers to herself, "My journalism professor is going to love this." As Jordan, Jennifer, Amanda, and Miss Massey leave, they look over at the tables with raffle prizes. They manage to stay out of the way, but the superhuman Marshall brothers and the Kensington brothers are now crashing into each other into the tables. Leander crushes Rancourt into one table, while Iron Maid throws Nightvisor and Arrowman onto another table, wrecking them both. Jordan and Jennifer immediately head towards the raffle prizes and begin to get them off the tables, along with the descriptions. "Jordan, Jennifer," Miss Massey cries, "what are you doing? You can't carry all that." We have to safeguard them and get them out of the way," Jennifer calls back as she collects 3 box sets of wine glasses. "If these tables get wrecked when the brawl comes over here, the prizes will be wrecked with them." Amanda nods and goes for a small tree with lottery tickets. She takes it out to the hall, then goes back and helps her sister for the rest of the prizes. She looks over at the Kensington brothers. She points at them and adds, "And it'll keep those guys from stealing the raffle prizes too." It takes several trips, but the women manage to clear the tables of raffle prizes, putting them on the tables with the soda pop. Thankfully, they see the fighting stays at the social tables, the brothers trying to whack a few at the Kensingtons. The fight even spills into the dance area. When the rink is cleared of citizens, Techni manages to fix the DJ equipment and stop the noise. He then takes Master Abraham and joins the others into the hallway. They try to get Valerie on the way, but she refuses. "You're kidding me, right?" she responds. "This is news and it's going to get me an A on Monday." After 10 minutes of fighting, the Kensington brothers refusing to let up, Highclear's invisibility powers begin to wear off. When he is fully visible, Rancourt and Iron Maid punch him in the face a few times. Highclear looks at the scoreboard attached to the ceiling and gets an idea. "Grab my hands and form a link, all of you," he says to his brothers. The superhuman Marshall brothers do as instructed, then Highclear counts to 3, and they all jump up. Highclear leaps onto the top of the scoreboard, and he and Leander help the rest of the brothers up. The fight ceases for a few minutes as the Kensingtons look around confused, trying to find their fight opponents. "Where the heck did they go?" Firewall asks. "They seem to have disappeared," Rancourt says. "They have to come out sometime." Arrowman looks around at the supporters on the scoreboard and sighs. And here, Master Abraham says we have to be prepared for anything and expect the unexpected, he says dully. Of all the times to forget my bow and arrow, I would have loved to shoot all these wires down and send this thing crashing on their heads. "Don't be ridiculous," Surfside objects. "Then a new scoreboard would have to come out of the city tax money." "I have a much better idea," Highclear says, looking down at the arena floor. He stands in the middle of the scoreboard top and calls out to the Kensingtons. "Why don't you meet us at the edge of the scoreboard?" Leander, Nightvisor, Surfside, and Arrowman each take a side, Highclear coming over to Leander's side. Nightvisor notices all the Kensingtons at his edge and motions his brothers over. They look down, but still staying out of sight as the enemies look up, down and around, and all around for them. "Oh yeah, stand still, you wannabe maggots," Nightvisor mutters under his breath. "On 3, boys," Leander whispers, and all the brothers get ready to jump. Leander gets to 3, and he and Highclear are the first to jump, followed by the rest of the brothers simultaneously. They land on Rancourt, Iron Maid, Firewall, and Friesler, the twins' powers useless with all the weight around under them. Only Highclear can stand up, but security helps the others up before approaching the Kensingtons. Highclear shakes his head. "Man, you guys need to work on your landings," he comments. "Is everyone all right?" Leander asks. Surfside and Arrowman have landed so hard they feel their legs are slightly injured. Not bad enough to get them to the hospital, but Surfside says, "I don't think I'll be dancing anymore for the rest of the night." "I'm good since Rancourt broke my fall," Nightvisor says. "I just hope we also don't get kicked out of the social." "Hey, we saved people from being recruited into Veter's army," Highclear says. "If anything, we should be getting free drinks for the rest of this event." When the Kensington brothers are gone, one security guard goes up to all the superhuman Marshall brothers and says, "Thank you for saving this event. We will see that the courts give you a good reward." "Thank you, sir," Leander responds. Right away, 3 tables are brought in to replace the damaged ones, and all chairs that have been turned over are now standing properly. The DJ goes back to his station and starts up the music. Jennifer and Jordan are thankful that none of the raffle prizes are destroyed and work to put them back where they are. The social resumes, but now Nightvisor is trying to convince Leander, Highclere, and Techne to come dance with him. "Well, since Surfside and Narrowman are out of commission, I suppose I can get out there for a few songs," Techne says. Leander and Highclere agree, and all 3 of them take Jennifer and Jordan out to the dance floor. Oh, and new characters have been introduced here. So Techne is the cousin of the superhuman Marshall brothers, and Valerie is Surfside's girlfriend and dates the social. Anyway, that's the reading, and the last reading is on chapter 17, and this is also part of the cystic fibrosis and fundraising subplot that doesn't really end there. Okay? So, see you at the last reading!